number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success.
It's you versus you. You versus you 2.0. The only battle that matters. This is it. No more second chances, no more excuses. No more pretending you don't know what needs to be done. Today, the war gets personal. The enemy isn't out there, it's right here. You versus you. The oldest, the realest battle in human history. The only one that matters. You either break free or you stay chained in the version of yourself that's been holding you back. You decide right now. Are you willing to fight for the life you deserve? It's always been you versus you. And today you make a choice. Do you keep living in the same patterns and making the same excuses? Making the same dead-end choices that leave you feeling like there's no way out? Or do you want to break free and finally become the person you are meant to be? Because let me tell you something, you were built for more, but first, you have to go to war daily and win the battle inside you. Why am I not there yet? Why does this road feel so lonely? Why does everyone else have support? Why does it feel like I'm always falling behind? You've thought this before. I know you have, we all have. You wake up, check your phone, and boom! Someone just bought their dream car at 22. Someone else is traveling the world with the money they made online. Someone else with beautiful cars, clothes, and women. And here you are, feeling stuck, feeling lost. Let me tell you something that'll change your life. Stop looking sideways and start looking forward. That person you're comparing yourself to, they don't have your life. They don't have your struggles. They don't have your path. They don't have your strengths. They don't have your weaknesses. And do you know what happens when you compare yourself to others? You steal your own potential. You rob yourself of progress because you're too busy watching someone else's highlight reel instead of building your own. Your journey is yours alone. And the sooner you embrace that, the more unstoppable you become. When you truly understand this, you stop comparing, stop doubting, and start moving with purpose. You begin to walk that path that is uniquely yours, one that no one else can replicate. So today, we stop. We stop measuring success by someone else's timeline. We stop looking at what they're doing and start focusing on what we can control. Stay true to yourself. Trust your process. And remember, greatness comes from owning your own story. Because the real competition is you versus you. You say you want success. You say you want a better life. But does your habits match your goals? Does your lifestyle reflect your goals, dreams, and desires? You want to be fit, but you skip workouts. You want to be healthy, but you eat like crap. You want to be in a loving relationship, but you hate yourself. You want to build a business, but you spend hours scrolling through TikTok, IG, and Facebook. You want financial freedom, but you blow your money on things you don't need. Trying to impress people that don't care about your future. They don't care if you live or die, or whether you're poor or rich. And then you wonder why you're stuck. Here's the truth. You are your thoughts, you are your habits, you are your daily choices. You either are building your future or you're destroying it. Success isn't just some magical moment where everything just clicks. It's built in the small, boring, and everyday choices that no one sees. Every time you wake up early instead of snoozing, that's you winning. Every time you work out instead of making excuses, that's you winning. Every time you ask that person out, that's you winning. Every time you invest in your future instead of wasting time, that's you winning. But every time you take the easy way out, the old you wins. And if the old you keeps winning, you'll never get ahead in life. So what's it gonna be? Do you keep feeding your limitations or do you break free? Because at the end of the day, it's you versus you. This is where it gets real. The person you were yesterday is not the person that's gonna get you to where you wanna go. The person you were last year is not the person that's gonna change your life. Keep doing the same things and you'll be in the same place. If you want a different life, you need to become a different person. And do that, and you will kill the old version of yourself. Kill the procrastination, kill the self-doubt, kill the fear of failure, kill the habits that keep you stuck. Kill all the haters' opinions, all their voices. That old version of you is dead. The new version of you that made excuses, gone. The new version of you that played it small, buried. The version of you that waited for the right time does not exist anymore. From this moment on, you are reborn into the person you are meant to be. And that person does not make excuses. That person does not quit when everything gets hard. That person does not let fear control them. That person, that's the new you. So what's next? Tomorrow morning, your alarm is going off. In that moment, the battle begins. Are you going to snooze and let the old you win? Or are you gonna get up, take one step closer to your future? Because the real challenge isn't today. It's every single day after this. Success isn't built in a single moment. It's built in the grind, the discipline, and the choices that no one else sees. The choices that you make when no one else is watching. And the truth, most people won't make it. Most people will hear this message, feel fired up for a second, and then go back to their old habits. But you're not like them. You will win the battle versus you every single day. Comparison was never your enemy. Distraction was never your enemy. Doubt was never your enemy. The real enemy is the version of you that settles for less. The version of you that quits when it gets hard. The version of you that believes the lies that you're not enough. But not anymore. You versus you 2.0 means no mercy for the old you. It means sharpen your mind like a weapon. It means crushing excuses before they even leave your mouth. It means waking up every day with a purpose so real, it sets your soul on fire. The battle doesn't end after this video. It's just getting started. And every day you choose, surrender to your weakness or rise to greatness. If you're ready to take the gloves off and fight for your future, drop a fire in the comments. Tag a brother, tag a sister, a friend who needs to level up and win the battle. It's you versus you, no one else, no excuses, no limits. Let's get it. Like and subscribe if you like the vibe. Let me talk to you straight. No fluffs, no filters. You're out here chasing women like it's your full-time job. Scrolling through IG, double tapping everybody you see. DMing girls who leave you on red. Going to the club every weekend, spending money you don't have to impress people who don't care. Getting high on instant gratification. TikTok hits, OnlyFans subscriptions, hookup apps, and late night distractions. You're chasing what feels good now, and you're losing who you could be later. Let me say this loud so your soul hears it. Stop chasing women and start chasing your damn dreams. Here's the trap you don't even realize you're in. They've got you chasing shadows. You think attention equals love. That a glance, a swipe, a DM is proof you matter. The lust is validation. And even if enough women want you, maybe, just maybe, you'll start wanting yourself. But it's a lie. It's a lie, bro. A straight up lie. You're not going to build confidence. You're borrowing it. leasing it from strangers who don't even know your name. In every like, every flirtation, in every shallow compliment, it fades fast. Like sugar water trying to fill a hunger that's deep in your soul. You start confusing dopamine with fulfillment. You think you're winning because the notifications don't stop. But deep down, you know it's all surface. Because when the lights go out and the screen goes dark, you're still alone with your thoughts. Still wondering why none of it feels like enough. You're not building your life, you're renting attention. Short-term leases that expire the second you stop performing. And the rent is due every time you look in the mirror and you don't recognize the man staring back. Every time you scroll past your own reflection and feel like a stranger in your own skin. You've been tricked into thinking validation comes from being wanted. But being wanted isn't the same as being known. And being chased isn't the same as being chosen. And being admired isn't the same as being loved. You're running a race with no finish line, trading authenticity for applause, depth for dopamine. You've become an actor in your own life, playing a role you don't even believe in anymore. But it doesn't have to stay this way, because here's the truth. The love you're looking for doesn't come from the outside. It's forged in the quiet moments when you show up for yourself, when you keep your word, when you build something real that doesn't need a filter, a flex, or a fire caption. You don't need to be seen by the world. If you finally decided to see yourself. Let me tell you something that nobody wants to say out loud. You can go broke chasing women, but you will never go broke chasing purpose. Say that again in your head until it's tattooed on your mindset, etched into your focus, burnt into your habits. Because here's the truth. Every moment you spend chasing women is a minute not spent building your empire. Every dollar you blow to impress on dates, drinks, drip, status is a dollar not invested in your dream, your craft, and your future. And you wonder why your confidence is low, why your mental health is shaky, why your ambition feels like it's slipping through your fingers. It's because you've been sold a fantasy, a highlight reel lifestyle with no substance behind it. And deep down, you know it. You know when you wake up the next morning and the thrill is gone, you're left with silence. You know when you look at your bank account and realize you've been trying to buy your self-worth. You know when you stare at your goals untouched and realize you traded progress for temporary praise. You're stuck in a loop of distraction, a cycle of chasing dopamine hits instead of chasing discipline. Of pouring your energy into people, places, and moments that don't pour back into you. Trying to be everything for everyone except yourself. But let me be real with you. No one is going to build your dream for you. No one is going to hand you peace, purpose, or power. You got to choose that daily, relentlessly. You got to make your grind louder than your excuses. You gotta make your mission more magnetic than any momentary thrill. Because here's what they don't tell you. When you chase purpose, you attract everything else. The right people, the right opportunities, the right energy. You won't have to chase because you'll be walking in alignment, rooted, focused, and unshakable. Start pouring into yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Start investing in your craft, your vision, your health, your mind. Because a man walking in purpose, that's a man who's dangerous in the best way possible. That's a man who doesn't beg for attention, he commands it. That's a man who doesn't chase women, He chooses a queen that aligns with his kingdom. So ask yourself, are you chasing attention or are you building a legacy? Here's another truth that most people are too afraid to say out loud. Women don't want boys to chase them. They want men who chase goals. They're drawn to vision, to purpose, to power, security, direction, not desperation. You think buying her flowers and texting her nonstop is gonna make her stay? You think begging for her time and validating every move is what she wants? Nah. She's looking at how you move. She's watching what you build. Because at the end of the day, she doesn't want to be the mission. She wants to join one. You want her to ride with you. Cool. But first, you need to have a ride. A destination, a vision, a reason to get up every day and grind like your name's on the line. You gotta have a journey that's bigger than just wanting her. You have to be going somewhere worth following. Women aren't attracted to potential that never becomes real. They're attracted to momentum, to consistency, to a man who says, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, and I'm not stopping for anyone. Be a man with a mission and watch how many women try to join the movement. Not because you begged, not because you flexed, but because your purpose is magnetic and people can feel it. You say you want a high-value woman, a queen, a partner who's intelligent, beautiful, driven, loyal, and rare? Then become high value. Stop chasing and start attracting. Level up your habits, your health, your mindset, your money. Upgrade the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you move in the world. Because real women don't want a man who needs them to feel like a man. They want a man who already is one. And they'll match his energy, not carry his weight. So here's the bottom line. Stop making women the finish line. Stop acting like she's just a prize and start realizing you are too. Become the kind of man who doesn't need to be chosen, because he's already choosing himself. And watch everything change for you. We live in the era of now. Fast food, fast likes, fast sex, fast everything. Everybody wants instant results without putting in the work. You scroll for 2 seconds and get a dopamine hit. You post a photo and crave validation. You chase a vibe, not a vision. But let me ask you something real. Do you want a fast life or a fulfilled one? Because there's a difference. One fades fast and the other lasts. One gives you moments and the other gives you meaning. Every second you waste chasing temporary highs. Every night you spend numbing out instead of locking in is a second stolen from your legacy, from your future self, from your greatness. You could be out here mastering a skill, building a business, reading books that sharpen your mind, writing your own story instead of watching someone else's. You could be laying down the bricks of your life that no one can take from you. But you're stuck, not because you lack talent, not because you lack opportunity, but because you've been taught to chase attention and not evolution. You think success comes from what you attract, huh? From money, status, clout, the girls? Nah. Success comes from who you become, from the man you are when no one's watching, from the choices you make when it's hard, from the way you show up when no one's clapping. You want that Lambo, huh? You want that penthouse. You want freedom. You want respect, wealth, and legacy. It's not sliding into your DMs, bro. It's not showing up just because you wish for it, bro. You gotta grind for it, bleed for it. Wake up early when everyone else is sleeping on themselves. You gotta turn off the porn, kill the distractions, and lock the hell in. Discipline over dopamine. Focus over feelings. Vision over vibes. The world will try to sell you comfort every second of every day. But comfort never built a king. Comfort never made a warrior. Comfort never handed out crowns. So choose your hard. It's hard to grind every day. It's hard to be broke, unfocused, and living paycheck to paycheck. It's hard to chase a purpose. It's also hard to live with regret. But one of them builds your future, and the other slowly destroys it. So you decide. Do you want quick hits or a life that hits different? You know what the real flex is? It's not the rented car, not the club table, not the flashy IG posts begging for likes from people that don't even know you. The real flex is walking past the same woman who ignored you when you were broke, when you were invisible, when they looked at you like you were nothing. And now, you walk past them with your head high, suit clean, collar pop, purpose sharp, and energy magnetic. You don't even need to say a word because your presence speaks. Because your discipline, your glow up, your mindset, it does the talking. The real flex is silence, grinding in peace, leveling up in the shadows, and letting your results break the silence louder than any words could. No announcements, no explanations, just elevation. The real flex is options, not just with women, but with life. It's being able to walk away from what doesn't serve you. It's choosing peace over pressure. It's turning down the noise because you're locked into your mission. The real flex is freedom. Time freedom, financial freedom, mental freedom, the ability to spend your day how you want, not how someone else tells you to wake up when you're ready, to move when you want, and to answer to no one but your purpose. The real flex is control over your time, your money, your emotions, your mindset. You're not owned by cravings. You're not controlled by your impulses. You've mastered yourself, and that's something no one can take from you. You need no validation when your bank account validates you. When your health, your habits, your consistency back you up. You don't need to chase when the world starts chasing you. Opportunities, respect, admiration, even love, it all flows naturally. When you've built yourself into someone with undeniable value, this is what it means to become dangerous in silence, to be unshakable, because you stop looking outward and start building within. So let the world sleep on you. Let them doubt. Let them ignore you. You keep building. You keep sharpening. Because the day is coming when you walk in the room and they feel you before they even see you. That's the real flex. So here's the real challenge. For the next 6 months, go ghost. Not to disappear from life, but to disappear from distraction, from noise, from validation seeking, from anything that's not feeding your growth. Fall in love with the grind, the quiet mornings, the late nights, the hours when no one's clapping, but you're still showing up. Cut the distractions, cut the fake friends, cut the mindless scrolling. Cut the habits that make you feel busy but keep you broke. Every notification that doesn't build your future, silence it. Every person who drains you, distance yourself. Delete what's draining you. And I'm not just talking about apps. I'm talking about patterns, the laziness, the overthinking, The craving for instant pleasure that keeps you stuck in the same damn place. Wake up early, not because it's trendy, but because you respect your time. Because you want to meet the day before it meets you. Work on your mind, your body, your bag. Read books that challenge you, podcasts, courses, anything that adds bricks to your foundation. Feed your brain like the future depends on it, because it does. Start something, even if it's small. A business, a YouTube channel, a brand, a side hustle. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Build something you can be proud of. Something that grows as you grow. Something no one can take from you because you built it with your own 2 hands. Go from a boy who chases women to a man who builds empires. You don't need her attention. You need your own attention. On your goals, on your purpose, on your mission. And here's the thing. When you level up, they'll notice. When you build, they'll come. When you shine, they'll follow. But by then, you won't be chasing. You'll be choosing. You'll be in control, not because of your ego, but because of your evolution. Don't do it for them. Don't do it to prove something to your ex. Don't do it to flex on people who doubted you. That's short-term energy. Do it for you! Because you deserve to see what happens when you stop chasing girls and start chasing greatness. You deserve to know what it feels like to wake up in a life you built, to look in the mirror and feel proud, to move through the world with confidence, clarity, and conviction. So take the next 6 months, go ghost, and when you come back unrecognizable. Let me leave you with this. Women are not the prize, you are. The man who's focused, disciplined, driven, self-respecting, that's the prize. Don't waste another day chasing people who don't even see your potential. Start chasing your dream like your life depends on it, because it does. You got one shot at life. Make it count. The money will come. The women, they will come. The world will come. But only if you show up first. Stop chasing women and start chasing your dreams. There are no bars, no guards, no locks, and yet you're still not free. This is the story of a prison you built inside yourself and the war it takes to break out. This is not motivation. This is a wake-up call. Look around you. You breathe air, you walk the streets. You go where you want. You scroll, you post, you laugh on command. You think you're free, but you're not. Not even close. Because behind that forced smile, behind the filtered pictures, behind the daily I'm fine that you whisper into the mirror each morning, you're not living free. You're living trapped. Not in a cell, not in some concrete box, not with shackles around your wrists or guards yelling in your face. No, it's far more subtle. It's far more dangerous. You're imprisoned by something that no one else can see. A prison of your own making. A cage made of doubt. Walls built from guilt. Bars wielded from years of self-abandonment. The prison doesn't need wardens. You've become your own. You patrol your own limits. You enforce your own boundaries. You hand yourself the sentence every time you play small or play safe. You wrap the chains around yourself, one excuse at a time. I'll start tomorrow. I'm not ready yet. I'm too tired. It's too risky. What if I fail? What will they think about me? And every time you said it, every time you believed that lie, another brick was laid. Another window was sealed. Another door was locked from the inside. And here's what makes this prison crueler than any built by man. You decorated it. You filled it with distractions. You wallpapered the walls with fake smiles. You numbed the silence with fake noise. You called it comfort. You called it normal. But comfort can be a killer when it robs you from your calling. And normal is the slow death of greatness. You wake up, you scroll, you eat, you work at a job that eats your soul 1 minute at a time. You fake laugh at a joke and you didn't even hear it. You tell yourself you're grateful as a way to avoid the hunger that's screaming inside of you. That hunger, that voice, that fire you buried under the floorboards of your potential is still alive, still waiting, still whispering, you were made for more. Instead of listening, you double down on silence. You distract, you avoid, you survive, never realizing you were born to thrive. And the saddest part of it all, most people will die in that prison, never stepping outside its invisible walls, never realizing those bars were made of fear, never knowing that the key to the lock was in their hand the whole time, never seeing the truth, that the only thing stopping them was them. This isn't judgment, it's not blame, it's a wake-up call. Because if you're breathing right now, if you still feel that ache in your chest that says, this can't be all there is, then you're not too late. You may be in prison, but you're not powerless. You can still choose to break free. But first, you have to face the truth. You are not caged by the world. You are caged by your choices, by your fears, by your silence. And if you built the prison, you can tear it down. You think staying inside your comfort zone keeps you safe. That routine, that carefully crafted bubble of predictability, you think it's protecting you. It's not. It's killing you. Not in one loud moment, not with fanfare or warning. It kills you slowly, quietly, day by day, decision by decision, smile by fake smile. It starts with your dreams, the wild burning visions you used to whisper to yourself at night. Gone, smothered beneath the weight of maybe next year, suffocated by the voice that said, who do you think you are? Then it moves to your ambition, that fuel you once had, the hunger in your chest to build, to grow, and to conquer. It starts to rot. It decays while you watch another episode. It weathers while you scroll, distract, and delay. It stars every time you choose comfort over calling. Then it chokes your confidence. You stop believing you can. You stop even trying. You avoid the mirror because somewhere deep down, you know the person staring back isn't the man or the woman you were meant to be. And then it comes for your soul. It eats away at your passion until the things you once loved feel like chores. It buries the fire under layers of numbness. You don't feel alive anymore. You just feel busy, tired, disconnected, dull. And you'll still smile, still show up, still make it look like everything's fine. Because society doesn't reward truth, it rewards mask. It tells you to blend in, to be realistic, to settle, to survive. So you laugh off the idea of greatness like it's a joke. You mock people who dream big because deep down you resent them for daring to chase what you gave up on. And you start calling your teeny, quiet, caged life normal. You tell yourself this is just how it is. You say you're grateful when really you're just afraid. Afraid of failing, afraid of judgment, afraid of what might happen if you tried and didn't make it. But let me tell you something. There is no greater failure than never trying. Because one day it will come. You'll be lying there, old, worn, watching time slip through your fingers like sand you can't hold on to. And the noise will fade, and the distractions will disappear. And in the silence, you will face what you ran from your whole life. Not the risks you took, but the ones you didn't. You'll remember every dream you abandoned for comfort. Every moment you traded growth for safety. Every wall you never even tried to break. You'll remember the fire you ignored, the gift you buried, the life you could have lived but didn't. And then you'll realize too late, you didn't live, you only survived. Like a ghost walking through a life that was never really yours. And the worst part, you'll know that no one else built that cage. You did. With every excuse, every fear, every day you waited, every time you said maybe later. So if your heart still beats with even 1 ounce of fight left, don't wait until the deathbed to wake up! Break the cycle, tear down the walls, and for once in your life, damn it, live! But it doesn't have to end that way. Not for you, not today, not forever. Unless you let it. Because right now in this exact second, with your heart still beating and your lungs still pulling in air, you have a choice. You still have the power. The key, it's not out there. It's not in someone else's hands. It's not buried in your past or waiting on your future. The key has always been in your hand. And hear me when I say this. Freedom is not a gift. It's not something the world grants you when you've checked enough boxes. Freedom is war. And the battlefield is inside your mind. You want to be free? Then you better be ready to fight for it. Fight your doubts. Fight your old story. Fight the comfort that's been choking your progress for years. Break the chains you wrapped around your own soul. The ones made of lies like, I'm not ready, I don't have enough, I'm too late, it's not the right time. Tear those lies down like the walls of prison you've outgrown. Smash them, burn them, bury them so deep they'll never rise again. Because here's the truth. You don't need another motivational video. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need permission to become the version of you that you were born to be. You are the permission. You are the damn sign. You are the answer. Stop waiting for lightning to strike. Stop waiting for someone to hand you a map. There's no perfect time. There's no flawless plan. There's only this moment and what you decide to do with it. You have the power to leave that old version of you behind right now. The scared you, the passive you, the one who shrinks, who hides, who apologizes for having fire in their chest. Leave him. Let them go. Because buried beneath the excuses, in the fear, in the fake smiles, there is someone else. A warrior, a builder, a king, a creator. And they've been screaming from behind those walls, clawing at the walls you built, begging you to let them rise. And today, you answer the call. Today, you tear down the walls with your bare hands if you have to. Today, you turn the fear into fuel. Today, you stop waiting for the stars to align and you become the fire that lights the sky. This is the end. This is the beginning. This is your uprising, your resurrection, your moment to step out of the shadows into the life you were meant to live. And when you do, when you finally breathe that air of freedom, not like the kind they sell you, but the kind you earn, you'll never settle again because you realize you were never weak. You were just caged, and now you are free. Imagine this. You open your eyes, and for the first time in years, there's no weight on your chest, no fog in your mind, no echo of what if bouncing off the walls of your head, just silence, peace, and power. You stand up, not to survive another day, but to live one. You move in the world not as a ghost of who you could have been, but as an architect of who you choose to become. There's a fire in your chest now. Once you light yourself with pain, with discipline, and the refusal to let your story end halfway through, then you can build. Not for applause, not for attention, but because building is what free men do. You build a life that is real, so full, so honest, that the memory of your prison feels like a bad dream, a nightmare that no longer holds power over you. You look in the mirror now, and you know the man staring back, not a stranger, not a prisoner, but a warrior, a builder, a king. And others, they see it too. They look at you not with pity, not with confusion, but with awe. They feel it when you walk in the room, that presence, that weight, that quiet power that comes from earning your freedom the hard way. And what's more, you light something in them. You inspire them to look at their own cages, to pick up their own keys, to ask, if he did it, maybe I can too. And years from now, when your time comes and your last breath draws near, you won't be left in this world with a clenched heart full of regret. No, you'll leave free, not because you live without fear, but because you faced it, you fought it, you defeated it day after day until it bowed down to you. You'll die not with your dreams buried inside you, but with your legacy alive in the world you helped shape. Your family, your work, your story, your impact. You lived, you risked, you loved, you bled, you built, you conquered, and most of all, you broke out. The prison was never real. The chains were never real. The walls were never real. The fear was, but fear is not your master. You are. So now, pick up the key, unlock the door, and step into the life you were meant to live. Be free. Be free. What's up, big dogs? The savage truths women won't tell you, but I will. They won't say it out loud, but deep down, you felt it. Something's off. You've been told to be nice, to wait your turn, to prove yourself, to earn love, to be good enough. But here's the brutal truth that no one's been man enough to tell you. The more you chase her, the further you fall from yourself. You weren't born to beg. You weren't born to impress. You were made to lead, to build, to conquer. This isn't just about women. This is about power, presence, and becoming the man you were always meant to be. Because the moment you stop chasing her and start chasing your mission is the moment she starts chasing you. They lied to you. They fed you a script from childhood, from school, from movies, from your own heartbreak. They told you, be nice, be available, say yes more than no. Be her therapist, her servant, her backup plan. And eventually, if you're good enough, patient enough, selfless enough, she'll choose you. She never wanted you to kneel. She wanted you to stand up. It was all a test. Women are not magnetized by the man who seeks permission. They're not drawn to the one who asks, what do you need me to be? They are drawn instinctively, emotionally, and deeply to the man who doesn't need to ask. She's watching how you walk, how you talk, how you treat your time, how you carry yourself when no one's watching, and when you have a crowd. She doesn't want a pet, she wants a force. She doesn't crave safety and weakness, she craves security and strength. You've been told to play it safe, to not take up too much space, to dim your light so someone else can shine, to be liked instead of being respected. To be the man who is liked by all is usually respected by none. And here's the Dulo twist. You followed the script, you gave her your all, and you overextended. You sacrificed your voice, your edge, your masculinity, and still, she lost interest. Why? Because seduction is not about logic. It's not about doing everything right. It's about energy. Confidence is quiet, composed, grounded. Desperation is loud, needy, chaotic. And she can feel the difference without a single word being exchanged. Every time you try harder to win her, she drifted and drifted further. Not because you weren't good enough, but because you forgot who you were trying to be. Seduction isn't a game of lines and tactics. It's a game of presence, of self-respect, of becoming the man who doesn't chase, but leads. He builds and radiates, and women feel that energy. They can't always explain it, but they know it deep down inside. You were lied to, but the truth, the real truth, will set you free. Women want the fantasy, but they follow the power. The average man is lost in illusion. He thinks women want love, flowers, compliments, approval. That's what you've seen on TV. He believes if he gives enough, listens enough, stays nice enough, she'll stay. But that's not what holds her. That's not what keeps her. What she wants is the fantasy. Not the one she sees in movies, but the one she plays out in her own mind. Mystery, emotion, presence, power. That's what stirs her. That's what lights a fire behind her eyes and keeps her thinking about you long after you're gone. The art of seduction doesn't lie. It tells you what no one else will. Women are drawn to symbols, to the image, to the aura of a man who doesn't chase, because he doesn't have to. They want a man who feels like a world unto himself, a man whose presence says everything. He doesn't need to tell her he's valuable. His stillness says it. His discipline proves it. His absence stings more than another man's words ever could. You think it's about the perfect text, the right gift, saying what she wants to hear. No, it's about what you embody. The one who leads without forcing. The one who moves with intention, not desperation. The man who could have anyone, but chooses to have himself first. She'll say, just be yourself. But if you listen, if you really listen, what she means is be the most refined, powerful, and grounded version of yourself. The one who doesn't flinch, the one who doesn't explain, the one who doesn't beg to be chosen, because he's already choosing himself. You think she's after love? Nah, she's after meaning. You think she wants safety? She wants to feel something. And that feeling comes from power, from presence, from a man who has control over his own world and invites her in without even needing her to stay. She may flirt with fantasy, but she follows strength. She trusts strength. She desires strength. And once you understand this, once you live it, you'll stop chasing and start attracting everything. See, what you don't realize and what they don't tell you, the game is psychological. They won't say it outright, but deep down, every man who's lost the game made this one mistake, or this same mistake. He thought it was logical. The attraction was a checklist. Status, muscles, money, looks. But the game isn't played on paper. It's played in the mind. It's ruled by emotion. You don't win her over with perfection. You win her by making her feel something. Mystery, intrigue, certainty, emotional presence. That's what leaves her mind spinning long after the conversation ends. Not your car, not your status, not your resume. How you make her feel in your presence. And here's the savage truth. She's watching you. Not just when you talk to her, but when you walk in a room. When you talk to yourself. When you lose. When you win. When you're ignored. She watches how you move, how you respond to pressure, how you handle rejection, how you protect your energy. She's not testing your wealth. She's testing your center, your character. Will you fold when challenged? Will you over-explain when doubted? Will you chase when she pulls away? Or will you stay unmoved, stay rooted, still, dangerously composed? You think the game is about her? No, the game is about mastering you, your emotions, your presence, your frame. Control the tone, control the pace, control the environment you create with your energy. You don't have to play the game when you are the game. That's the psychological edge. That's the shift. When you stop reacting to the world and start commanding it. You stop trying to be light and start becoming unforgettable. Another thing they don't tell you is power is the ultimate attraction. Let's cut the noise. Forget tactics. Forget pickup lines. Forget chasing her. Big dogs don't chase. We were never meant to chase. You don't win women, you win yourself, and they follow. You win by stepping fully into who you are, by becoming the man who no longer needs attention, because his mission is louder than anyone else's opinion. Be the man who builds while others scroll, while the lame man sits in front of a computer and beats his meat. Be the man who grows while others gossip, who walks alone rather than stay stuck with the wrong crowd, who walks away from everything and anyone that no longer aligns with his vision. That's power. When you stop seeking their attention, that's when you start getting it. Not because you're playing the game, because you're too focused on becoming something rare. And women, the right women, they feel that. They're not drawn to the loudest man. They're drawn to the man who doesn't flinch, to the man who walks in a room and brings order with his presence, to the man whose life is already full and she's just lucky to be invited in it. When you lead your life with purpose and direction, they follow the current of energy. You don't need to flex. You don't need to beg. You don't need to prove. You just need to become the man who knows what he wants, the man who can walk away, the man who respects himself enough to say no, even to beauty, even to a baddie. When you stop hiding behind validation, when you stop performing for likes, when you stop trying to be the nice guy who gets picked, you'll become unforgettable. You stop being an option. You become the standard. That's the ultimate seduction. Not the one who tries to be chosen, but the one who chooses himself first, last, and always. I'ma leave you with my final words and my final thoughts. She doesn't want to tell you this, but the moment you stop chasing her, the moment you stop bending, stop shrinking, improving, and start chasing your mission with fire, with focus, with zero apologies, that's the day everything shifts. That's the day she starts watching. She starts wondering, starts chasing you. But the real power, real attraction isn't about how many women want you. It's about how little you need their approval. So stop asking for attention. Start commanding respect. You want to become unforgettable? Then disappear from distraction and reappear with purpose. Let her feel your absence. Let the world feel your rise. Let your mission speak louder than any words ever could. This is your moment. Don't waste it proving your worth. Build your worth and let her chase the man who finally remembered who he was. If you want to know what's 100 times better than chasing a girl, watch this video on the screen right here. This is in checkers. This is chess. And in chess, you don't move fast. You move right. You don't act. You think. You don't just react. You calculate. Because in this game, every decision you make is a piece on the board of life. And every piece, it costs something. Your time, your energy, your focus, your future. So the question isn't if you'll move. The question is, will your next move be your best move? Will you move with purpose or with pressure? Will you move with vision or out of fear? Will you lead the game or get played by it? Because this isn't about speed. This is about legacy. And every move from here on out tells the world who you really are. In chess, the first few moves don't look like much. They're quiet, subtle, almost invincible to the untrained eye. But to the one who understands the game, those first moves are everything. They set the tempo, they create the structure. They determine whether you're playing offense or defense for the rest of the game. Life is no different. The things you do when no one's watching, those are your opening moves. The way you wake up in the morning, the books you read, the food you eat, the time you waste, or the time you invest. These aren't random habits. They're strategic positioning. People want the glory of the win, but they skip the opening. They want the crown, but they avoid preparation. But a king isn't made in the spotlight. He's made in the dark. When he chooses consistency over comfort, discipline over distraction, structure over chaos. You don't have to move fast in the beginning, but you do have to move intentionally. Build your base, strengthen your position, learn the board, study the players, master the rules. Because once the game heats up, you won't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your preparation. If your foundation is weak, your game collapses early. But if you build it right, brick by brick, choice by choice, move by move, then no matter what life throws at you, you'll be ready. The world won't always see your foundation, but trust me, it will feel it. When the pressure rises, that solid ground beneath your feet, that's what will keep you standing. The middle is where it gets messy. The opening is over. The routine is set. And now you're in the chaos. Distractions, temptation, pressure from every single angle. People talking, expectations rising, the pace quickens, and most people crack. Not because they don't have potential, but because they don't have a plan. This is the part of life where the game starts to push back. You've made opening moves, and now the world responds. Obstacles appear, doubt creeps in. You'll be tempted to react, to move emotionally, to trade long-term vision for short-term relief. But this is where strategy separates the great from the good. A master doesn't just play the moment. He plays the sequence. He sees the trap 5 steps ahead. He watches others fold under pressure, not with arrogance, but with awareness, because he knows what they don't. This game isn't won by emotion. It's won by calculation. You gotta pause, breathe, zoom out, look at the full board of your life, your habits, your relationships, your energy, your time. What's draining you? What's feeding you? What's pushing you forward? And what's holding you back? In the mid-game, you'll have to make sacrifices. Comfort, what's familiar, sometimes even people. You might have to give up the pawn of popularity to protect the queen of your purpose. The key is to stop moving just to feel busy. Stop chasing every shiny object. Stop reacting every time life makes a move. Instead, respond with vision. Every move must mean something. In the middle, mistakes are costly, but hesitation is worse. You need to be sharp, focused, and grounded. And most importantly, you've got to think ahead, not just about where you are now, but about where this path is really taking you. This is where most people lose the game. But if you stay focused, if you stay strategic, this is also where you position yourself to win. Not every piece moves the same. In chess, like in life, every piece has its own purpose, its own strengths, its own limitations. The pawn is the smallest piece on the board. It moves one square at a time, slow, limited, and often overlooked. It doesn't have range, it doesn't have power, but it has something greater. Potential. The pawn is a symbol of the everyday warrior, the one who doesn't start with status, but shows up anyway, who takes the long road, not because it's easy, but because it's the only way forward. While others make bold moves and claim center stage, the pawn stays focused. It advances quietly, deliberately, through chaos, through danger, through sacrifice. And if it keeps pushing square by square and it survives the battles, it reaches the other side. And when it gets there, it transforms. It doesn't stay small. It becomes the most powerful piece on the board, not because of luck, but because of grit. The pawn teaches us this. It doesn't matter how you start. It matters how far you're willing to go. Stay focused, stay humble, stay moving forward. Because even the smallest piece can become anything. The knight jumps with style, unpredictable, unique, while other pieces follow straight lines and simple paths. The knight bends the rules. It moves in L shapes, 2 forward, 1 to the side. It leaps over obstacles, surprises opponents, and strikes from angles no one saw coming. The gift of the knight, it doesn't just move, it surprises. It plays a different game. While the rest of the board is bound to clear, direct movements, the knight breaks pattern. It doesn't fit the mold, and that's its power. In life, some people are built like knights. Don't walk on a straight path. Their journey doesn't look normal. They've got setbacks, detours, unexpected twists, but still they move. And more than that, they outmaneuver. The knight is proof that you don't have to move like everyone else to win. You don't have to follow their path, their timeline, or their rules. Your uniqueness is your weapon. Your ability to think differently, act differently, and move differently. That's what sets you apart. And here's what makes the knight special. It doesn't need a clear road. It doesn't need permission. It jumps over obstacles. It defies limitations. So if you're the type of person who always felt out of place, if your path hasn't never been a straight line, if you had to figure out while others had it laid out for them, don't shrink back, lean into it. You're the knight on the board. And while they're playing by the book, you're playing by instinct. While they're waiting for an open lane, you're already making your next leap. The bishop glides across the board at sharp angles, always diagonally, always cutting through complexity. It doesn't go straight, it sees beyond. The bishop is a visionary, seeing lanes that others miss. While everyone else is caught up in the obvious, the bishop is thinking in slants, finding the hidden pathways. In life, some people aren't just meant to follow the main road. They're wired to move differently, to see what others overlook. Their value is in their vision, their ability to cut through distractions and move in alignment with purpose. The bishop reminds us, sometimes the straight path isn't the strongest. Sometimes the edge holds the key. The queen is the most powerful piece on the board. Fast, fluid, fierce. She moves in any direction as far as she wants. She's not limited by one path. She commands the board. But her power isn't just in how she moves. It's in when she moves. The queen is patient. She waits for the right moment, then strikes with precision. In life, true power doesn't scream. It doesn't rush. It watches, waits, then acts with impact. The queen's lesson, you don't have to force power. You just have to own it. Move with confidence, not for attention, but for results. That's the queen's energy. The king doesn't move far, just one square at a time. But don't mistake that for weakness. Because the king is the reason for the game, the mission, the purpose, every strategy, every sacrifice. It all revolves around protecting the king. In life, your king is your why, your values, your vision. The part that must be protected, not because it's fragile, but because it's foundational. Lose your king, you lose everything. So know what you stand for. Know what's worth fighting for. And never, ever trade your crown for comfort. You've got to know who you are in this game. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Just because they're ahead on the board doesn't mean they're winning. Just because they're louder doesn't mean they're smarter. You don't need to broadcast every move. Real power is quiet. Real value is strategic. You've got to ask yourself, what do I bring to the table that no one else can? What is my advantage? What is my unique move? My mindset, my gift, my angle? In chess, every piece is protected according to its value. And yet in life, we give away our time, our peace, our energy like it's nothing. You've got to guard your mind like it's your queen. Guard your purpose like it's your king. Because not everything deserves your attention. Not everyone deserves access. Some people will try to trick you out your position. They'll offer you fast fame, shallow validation, temporary pleasure, but don't even trade a crown for a quick win. Don't sacrifice your self-worth to fit in someone else's game. The true masters, they don't move to impress. They move to advance. They know what they're worth, and they never negotiate their value for approval. In this life, you gotta remember, you're not just a piece on someone else's board. You are the player. You know your value, and you move like it. When the board gets quiet, when the flashy moves are gone, and only a few pieces remain, that's when it matters most. This is the end game, where all the noise fades, and the truth of your discipline, your decisions, your mindset is revealed. No more bluffing, no more buying time. You can't fake strategy when the board is nearly empty. It's just you, your preparation, the weight of every move you've made until now. The openings, they got you here. The mid-game, it tested you. The end defines you. This is the legacy mode. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Not about how fast you move, but how precise you are. Because in the end game, a single wrong move could cost you everything. But don't let that shake you. Let it shape in you. Because you've made it this far, through the chaos, through the pressure, through the sacrifices. You are no longer the same player you were at the start. You've earned your scars. You've learned patience. You've made tough calls. And now, every move you make carries power, purpose, and presence. In life, just like in chess, most people don't lose because they never had a chance. They lose because they let up too soon. They coast, they get comfortable, they stop playing to win and start playing not to lose. But not you. You didn't come this far to coast. You didn't endure all that pain just to play small now. You came to finish strong. You came to close with power, with clarity, and with legacy. So breathe, lock in, and make every final move count. Because when the board is clear, when the game is nearly done, the world doesn't remember who started strong. It remembers who finished like a master. This isn't checkers. This is chess. And real masters don't chase moves. They own them. So stand tall, dig deep, look the board in the eye, and make your next move your best move. If you want to know how to get out of that mental prison that you're stuck in, watch this video on the screen.